As a dentist, before you start drilling into someone's teeth, you take an x-ray, you figure out exactly where the problem is, you come up with a plan of action, and then you start drilling, right? Makes logical sense. However, this is not how most dentists approach marketing. The way most dentists approach marketing is they say, I've got this problem, I've got a pain, I don't have enough patients, and it hurts, and I want to fix this. And then they open up their wallet and they just start throwing money at the wall, trying to figure out what's going to get them patients, trying to figure out what's going to stop the pain. And it's a recipe for failure. When it comes to marketing, or more specifically with SEO, that X-ray is called keyword research. And it's a vital step that you need to do. And it's one that most dentists, they don't do, and one that most marketing agencies that dentists work with either don't do or they don't do it very well. Keyword research allows you to see what people in your area are searching for when it comes to different dental services. What search terms are more popular than others? So basically, how many people are looking for dental implants, for example, versus Invisalign. It also lets you see just how much other dentists are spending to run ads on those keywords. Or in other words, it kind of shows you how competitive each keyword is. It's a very powerful tool, and it helps you figure out what you should be focusing on for your marketing in order to get the best results. So in this video, I want to show you how you can do keyword research yourself for free with a tool called Google Keyword Planner, which you can get access to by setting up a free Google Ads account. You just go to ads.google.com, create an account, and within a few minutes, you can get access to some incredible data that can really help you ramp up your marketing efforts. So let's jump onto my computer and take a quick look at how to use Google Keyword Planner. Once you log into Google Ads, you're going to see an option for tools on the left here, and we just want to go to Keyword Planner. Okay, and here we are. And we've got two useful tools that we're going to dive into a little bit today. We can discover new keywords. So this will help us figure out what we could be targeting, different types of dental services that potential patients are searching for. But if you already have an idea of what you want to target and you just want to get some data on how many people are actually searching those keywords and how competitive they are, then we can use this tool here. Let's start with discovering new keywords. So in this text box here, you can type in different types of dental keywords just to give Google some idea of kind of what you're looking to target, and it'll help you get more ideas or generate more ideas. You could also just enter in your website or a competitor's website. It's going to scan that website. It's going to find all the things that it's talking about, the different services that they offer, and it'll give you a bunch of ideas from there as well. Now, if I go here, let's type in a website, and let's say this is your website. You can click Get Results. You can scan only that specific page. So let's say maybe you're looking for keyword ideas for Invisalign. You might want to put in your Invisalign landing page and just scan that. Or in this case, I'm going to scan the entire site. If I click Get Results, it's going to take a look at everything on here and give me a list of different keyword ideas that I can be going after and give me some very useful stats here. Now I can also type in specific keywords here. So if I'm looking to target Invisalign and I want to get an idea for what are people actually searching for in relation to Invisalign, I can go here, type in Invisalign. Now you want to be conscious of what area you're searching for. So right now I'm searching all of Canada to get ideas for what everyone in Canada is searching for when it comes to Invisalign. But if I click here, I might want to drill it down to my specific city. So let's say my practice is located in Toronto. I'm going to remove Canada. I'm just going to keep Toronto. And now when I click Get Results, it's going to show me keywords and stats that are specific to this area. Now we can see that we have 211 keyword ideas available. But let's take a moment and talk about what do these stats actually mean and how are they useful to us. So besides the keyword ideas here of, these are things that people in Toronto are actually searching for, and this is the average monthly volume or the amount of people that are searching for that. What I'm interested in here is competition. So this is going to show us how competitive it is as far as Google Ads. So how much money are other dental practices throwing at trying to show up for these keywords? And also, what sort of money are they paying for each click? We can see here the top of page bid, low range. What that means is to get to the top of the page, best case scenario over this date range here, it's cost, $4.53, but it could go as high as $13.71. All really depends on how many people are bidding that day, how many dental practices are throwing money, trying to get their ad to show up. And this could be useful to help me figure out, what keywords are maybe too competitive or too expensive to go after, and what keywords, maybe are a better bang for my buck. Going through this list here, you're also going to see, themes of what people are sort of searching for. Already I can see there's quite a few searches for price, cost, things of that nature. And that might give me some ideas for, maybe I can, on my landing page for Invisalign, I can talk about price, because seems to be a recurring theme. People are searching for information about costs. So why avoid the question? Let's answer it. And that way, we might be able to drive some traffic to our website, because our websites might be the only one in the area that is actually answering the cost question. Now, I've taken a moment and I've gone through this list, and I've picked out a couple keywords that have given me some ideas for the types of content I can create on my Invisalign landing page that's going to help me rank better. So let's take a look here. So one of them that stood out was Invisalign underbite. Another one is Invisalign bottom teeth only. So obviously there's some people out there who are, maybe only want to correct their upper teeth, their bottom teeth. And I could write a paragraph of content on my Invisalign page talking about, is that an option? Can you do that? How does that work? Because if I could answer that question, and when somebody's searching for that on Google, Google sees that I'm the only website that actually talks about this, then they're going to send people to my website instead of my competition. Because again, my website is addressing these specific questions or issues that people are having. Invisalign promotions. So if you are running a promotion on Invisalign, you can maybe feature that on your landing page. There are clearly some people searching for that. We also, again, Invisalign bottom teeth price only. So, recurring theme. We have Invisalign discounts, bottom Invisalign. So already we can see there's a pattern. There's a lot of people looking for just, can I do Invisalign just for my bottom teeth? And surprisingly, you're not really going to find a whole lot of Invisalign landing pages that actually deal with that question. Most dentist websites, if they're trying to promote Invisalign, their page simply says Invisalign, here's kind of what it is, as if people didn't know what it was already. We do it, give us a call and let's talk about it further. But ideally what you want to do is you want to make your website useful. You want to answer these questions that people have so that they don't have to call you. When they're calling you because, so far you've been the most helpful resource for them. They get this impression that you're like a really nice, helpful practice, and they're calling you because they want to talk to you, not because you're withholding information and saying, well, if you want any more info, you got to give me a call. It's a much better strategy to simply just give them all the info they want, and then they will like you more, they will trust you more, and they're much more likely to end up calling you instead of the practice down the road. So let's take a look at what this looks like from a patient's perspective, right? So let's say I go on Google and I'm typing in, can you get Invisalign done only on the bottom teeth? And you see that Google took a snippet from a dentist website that basically answered that question. So yes, Invisalign is available only for your bottom teeth or the top teeth, but in most cases, both arches should be treated. And again, as a patient, if I see this is very visible, I'm probably going to click this link and go to this dentist website. Now, here's a great example when it comes to price, right? If I type in how much does Invisalign cost in Toronto, I can see a snippet here from a dental practice that actually answered that question. So many dentists, they shy away from talking about price, thinking that, well, we don't really want to dive down into that topic. It's better for them to call us, to come in, and then we talk about it. But in reality, you're actually losing a lot of potential patients, because by withholding that information, they don't end up finding you. Google is going to direct them to people that are openly talking about the price. And at the end of the day, it's not like you can give anyone an accurate quote. What's the harm in giving them a rough price range and say, here's kind of on the low end what we've seen it cost, what it's cost on the high end if you have a very complex case. Here's the kind of insurances that cover it or may not cover it. Here's kind of what goes into this. And by driving them to your website, by being open with them about as much as you can, again, they're going to like you more. They're going to trust you more. Google's going to like you and trust you more. They're going to send more people your way. And more of those patients are going to end up calling you because they feel like you're trustworthy, you're open, you're transparent. whereas everybody else is trying to shy away from answering these questions, which I think is a really huge mistake and a huge lost opportunity. Let's also take a quick look at the Get Search Volume and Forecasts and look at it from a perspective of trying to analyze competition. So let's say, my practice is in Toronto. I'm looking to target, Invisalign. I can get just the traffic numbers for Invisalign, the price ranges of what people are willing to bid for that. And what I find useful is I might want to compare, is Invisalign expensive to advertise for in my area versus another area? And vice versa. You might find certain keywords or certain types of services are underserved, or there's a good enough demand, but there's not that many other dental practices that are going after those keywords. So if I look here, I'm going to search for Toronto. So I want to see what are there's about 6,600 people in Toronto searching for Invisalign, and it costs between $4.21 and $15. But let's say I'm also interested to see what if I was in Mississauga. So I'm going to remove Toronto, I'm going to keep Mississauga. And we can see that it's a little bit cheaper. What about if I looked at Oakville? It's a bit cheaper as well. But this isn't always the case. There's a lot of situations where it's actually cheaper to advertise for bigger cosmetic services in bigger cities. So just because your practice is in a small town doesn't mean it's not competitive. These prices are based on how many people are trying to compete and how much they're willing to pay. And there's a number of situations where you might actually be paying double to advertise for Invisalign in a very small town compared to a larger city. And you might want to focus your time, attention, your money on going after other keywords that maybe are not as competitive. So this is useful to quickly go through and see, compared to the towns and cities around me, is this keyword overvalued, undervalued, it is overpriced, underpriced, and that might give you some ideas of what you should focus your time, money, and attention on. So here's a good example of this. I've taken a look for Toronto at 3 keywords: Invisalign, veneers, and dental implants. We can see the prices here. So $4 to $15, $2.57 to about $10, etc. But let's say my practice is located in Oshawa. If we take a look here, and I've already screenshotted the stats for Toronto. So what can we learn? It's actually slightly more expensive to advertise in Oshawa for Invisalign than it is for Toronto on the high end. It is quite a bit cheaper though to advertise for veneers. So in Toronto, it could go up to about $10, whereas in Oshawa, it's only up to $5. And it's more expensive in general to advertise for implants in Oshawa than it is for Toronto. So again, just because you're in a small town doesn't mean that, there's no competition. From a Google Ads perspective, you really want to take a look at how much are people paying in other cities around me and what seems like it's cheaper to go after, because obviously you're going to get more patients dollar per dollar. From an SEO perspective, it's still important because you have to remember that if people are willing to throw a lot more money or more money advertising for dental implants in Oshawa compared to Toronto, those same dental practices are probably throwing more money into SEO as well. So ideally, they would also like to rank organically, not have to pay Google for that visibility. So they're probably putting time, money, and effort into ranking for those keywords as well. But you can get a lot of insight from just comparing, look at all the different services you offer and just take a look at, how much traffic is there, are there, what should I be focusing my attention on? And how competitive is it? How much are other people willing to pay? because as a dental practice, you generally have pretty limited budgets. I mean, you're not Coca-Cola, you're not spending tens of millions of dollars a month on, marketing your business. You have relatively small budget to promote your practice, and you want to make sure that you're investing that budget very strategically, and that, in the keywords that are essentially going to give you the best bang for your buck. I hope you found that video useful. If you did, give it a like or consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this one. You can also check out our website at revupdental.com, where you'll find a ton of free guides on dental marketing, webinars, interviews with industry leaders, and more information on how we help dentists drive more new patients. Thanks for watching.